Hello everyone, welcome to Newspresso. I'm your host, Lisa. The conversation opens with a sense of urgency, almost like a backstage call to the FBI drama. Nicole Wallace sits across from Andrew Weissman. She is known for sharp questions. Weissman once led the Justice Department. Michael Feinberg served as special agent in charge. He spent a decade inside the Bureau's walls. They're on Deadline White House, a hub for comment. Topic is the chaotic wave of firings. It rippled through the FBI after Patel took helm. Weissman starts by setting the scene. Patel was appointed in 2021. The move raised eyebrows because the man had no prior FBI experience. He also had a record of odd decisions. From the get-go, his leadership style seemed more like a circus act than a command center. The first hint of trouble came when senior officials were let go, some for performance issues. Others were let go for differences in strategy. It felt like a purge of the old guard. As the story unfolds, we hear how Patel's erratic behavior was not just a rumor. It was the subject of an internal memo that raised questions about whether he was fit for the job. Feinberg, with his first-hand knowledge, recalls the atmosphere of uncertainty that settled over the agency. The chain of command seemed to be in flux, with a constant shuffle of interim leaders and a flurry of briefings that left many analysts scrambling to keep up. The heart of the discussion turns to the practical fallout of these firings. Wallace asks, how many people are we talking about exactly? Weissman answers with a dry clarity, at least 30 senior staffers, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. The ripple effects hit every branch of the Bureau. The loss of seasoned personnel created a vacuum. The remaining team had to fill overnight. Feinberg notes the difficulties in maintaining continuity on major investigations, and how that has put other agencies on edge. The conversation is peppered with real anecdotes. One former agent, a whistleblower, recounts being reassigned to a new division, with no time to prepare. The narrative feels almost cinematic, but the stakes are real. A federal agency's backbone has been destabilized by a leadership style that seemed, at best, a mismatch for the job's demands. The outcome of the turbulence is twofold. First, the FBI's public image has taken a hit. The media's portrayal of a chaotic, disorganized organization is hard to shake. Second, the agency has begun to reassess its hiring practices. Wallace points out that the DOJ is now pushing for more stringent vetting processes, citing concerns that the current system can let qualifications go unchallenged. We hear from Weissman that this might be a turning point for the justice system, where merit and experience will finally outweigh political maneuvering. 1. The conversation ends on a note of cautious optimism. 2. While the firings under Kash Patel have forced the FBI to face a hard look at its leadership and hiring, the conversation ends on a note of cautious optimism. 3. While the firings under Kash Patel have forced the FBI to face a hard look at its leadership and hiring, and it is now a question of whether they can rebuild their credibility and operational effectiveness. 4. The key point remains clear: the chaotic firings under Kash Patel have forced the FBI to face a hard look at its leadership and hiring, and it is now a question of whether they can rebuild their credibility and operational effectiveness. That's all for this episode. Please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any global news.